Committee on General Government Operations hopes that in the next few weeks that it can determine the full impact of the governor's spending cuts bill. It was last week when Committee Chair Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz says he was most concerned at how the governor's proposal may seriously affect women on maternity leave, teachers, firemen, the sick, the retired, and the National Guardsmen on deployment. According to the governor's Deputy Press Secretary, Philip Leon Guerrero, he says this is yet another needless scare tactic put on by the Vice Speaker.
And there is a lot of misinformation being put out by the Vice Speaker's office. A lot of, again, needless attacks that do nothing but worry our families that they're going to be affected in ways that they're not.
Relative to the National Guard, he says the bill doesn't take away from the livelihood of men and women in the armed forces, nor does it take away from the 15 days of military leave provided to deployed servicemen and women.
All this bill does, and the measure that he's objecting to, all it does is reduce the amount of days that other employees can donate from 90 to 60 days, which is the federal standard, and it puts it under the sole purpose for medical reasons, which was the original intent of the leave-sharing law.
He says DOA Director Benita Manglotnia and a number of her HR personnel will be available to the legislature and the public to set the record straight on several of the measures which ultimately are needed to pay for tax refunds. They include early retirement program, amortization of unfunded liability by 10 years to 2041, reduction in holiday pay, elimination of GFD non-productive pay, plus reduction of GFD overtime to 6 hours, elimination of GFD incentive pay, elimination of annual leave cash out, reduction of paternity leave to industry standards, and a cap on leave sharing to 480 hours per occasion limit to medical reasons. However, he adds, the proposals are no secret and have been discussed for months by the Spending Cuts Task Force.
These cuts and these proposals weren't made in a vacuum. We went to every single village to elicit and solicit input from the public. The Spending Cuts Task Force has been meeting, so financial experts have been mulling over these proposals too. And again, as we've seen, Governor Calvo is open to alternative spending cuts.